Joining us, I'm Corey here with Jordan and Katie.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. And TGIF, safety above all else. But meanwhile, on the Front Range, we're experiencing something very different. We're not really having much moisture.
No, unfortunately, it's not going to be on our 7-day forecast that Denver has the chance for seeing any real notable precipitation, but at least the mountains this morning are seeing some, so we're happy with that. For places like Aspen Snowmass, just be careful, especially in the backcountry, where you're seeing higher avalanche danger as the snow has continued to fall. Right now, it's partly to mostly cloudy skies here in Denver and overall relatively mild. We will see some gustier winds as the system makes its way through Colorado on this Friday, January 2nd, but our temperatures in the meantime well above average, even from the mountains to the plains. You can see right now on the I-70 drive, it's been off and on snow showers, light to moderate, that we've seen so far this morning. CDOT has cleared the roadway, so you will find just some wet to damp conditions at lower terrain, but I was just looking at the camera over Vail Pass. It is sticking to the roadway, so our higher mountain passes, just be prepared at times for some tricky and slick travel. A nice dusting of snow over Glenwood Springs, and that is where our central and northern mountains we will be seeing the most snow accumulate with this storm system. A rain-snow mix off to our west in Grand Junction. Our San Juan mountain range also starting to pick up some snow showers, and then that winter weather advisory impacting us through at least 5 o'clock. That will expire this evening in the mountains. No advisories for the metro area. The foothills a bit breezy at times, otherwise dry, and temperatures right now in the 40s in Boulder, also at the airport. Partly to mostly cloudy skies this morning, and then we'll see 53 degrees by 11 a.m. at Denver International Airport. If you have any travel to do out at the airport, it's going to be just mostly cloudy, a bit breezy by 3 p.m. Winds will shift in from the northwest off to our west, though, near Winter Park, Steamboat Springs. We'll talk more about these specific snow totals. As mentioned, this isn't major, won't put a big dent in snowpack, unfortunately, with around 1 to 2 for our Front Range high country. But it's great to see any little bit of snow, especially for our resorts that absolutely need it, because as we go through the next few days, at least Crested Butte, Steamboat, around 1/2 foot can be expected to accumulate.
All right, Katie, thank you. We have an update this morning to a story that we first brought you yesterday morning. A pedestrian that was hit and sent to the hospital on New Year's Eve has died. The hit and run happened on New Year's Eve just before 11:30 p.m. near West Arizona Avenue and South Federal Boulevard. Denver police says this investigation is ongoing, and if you know anything about the crash, you're asked to call Metro Denver Crime Stoppers or the number listed at the bottom of your screen.
A former social worker who was convicted of filing false child abuse claims against an Aurora City councilor has been released on parole after serving just part of her sentence. Robert Niceta was sentenced to more than 4 years last May for filing fake child abuse claims against now former Aurora City councilor Danielle Durinsky. Prosecutors say it was an act of revenge for Durinsky's public criticism of Aurora's police chief, who was Niceta's partner at the time. Niceta's case was delayed multiple times after she faked a cancer diagnosis to avoid trial. She got 3 years probation for that lie. Durinsky took to social media to call the sentence insufficient and saying it, quote, highlights the need for justice reform. To get ready for changes coming in 2027, Colorado's Department of Regulatory Agencies is using 2026 to let consumers and professionals know what's on the horizon.
Yeah, DORA is expanding oversight of the funeral industry, an industry that's been in the spotlight with disturbing cases in our state for a few years now. 90's reporter Lauren Scafidi is live outside of DORA headquarters in Denver. Lauren, what exactly are the changes that are coming?
Good morning, Jordan and Corey. The oversight isn't being added for the businesses, but really for the people in the businesses. And actually, Colorado is just playing catch up. These changes all stem from legislation that was passed in 2024, expanding licensing requirements to funeral directors, embalmers, cremationists, and mortuary science practitioners. Under the new law, all funeral homes and crematories will keep getting those yearly inspections, and starting in January of 2027, individual licensing will be required for anyone working in the industry. State officials say the goal is pretty simple here: protect consumers and restore trust while holding bad actors accountable. Regulators note Colorado, get this, was the only state in the country that didn't require licensing for these professionals, a gap that they say contributed to some of the most high-profile cases in recent years.
So having that long period of time where individuals operating within the industry weren't regulated obviously contributed significantly to some of the situations that we've seen in Colorado.
Coming up in the next hour and streaming on 9 News Plus, I'll explain the action Dora wants professionals to take starting today. Don't wait till the end of the year. And also how they want consumers to know that this is going to protect their loved ones. Live in Denver, Lauren Scafidi, 9 News.
Right, Lauren, thank you. A small business just won a zoning fight with the city of Denver after a reporting that the city admitted it was in the wrong, but still wanted the business to move. A taco truck, Tacos y Tortas, built a loyal customer base in a parking lot on Federal. The truck had been parked there and licensed with the city every year, but since 2013, when owner Martin Salvador went to renew his license this year, he was told that he needed another permit for that spot, and it wasn't eligible for him to keep his business in the spot where it has sat for a decade with city permission. It turns out the city moved the applications online recently, and the online application found a zoning error the city missed for more than a decade. The city told the taco truck it needed to move.
The guy that I talked to, I told him I've been here for 11, 12 years and I've never heard about this. It's like, yeah, I don't know why nobody caught this before. I'm sorry. This is what pays the bills, what pays our mortgage, our car insurance, bills. It's the whole thing.
This week, the city reached out to Martin to help tell him that he could operate the truck there for at least the next year, and they will work on a way to support him with a zoning use permit.
A strike by Telluride ski patrollers is now in its 7th day with no resolution in sight. And right now, businesses around town are taking a really hard hit from this. The Telluride ski resort closed on December 27th after contract talks broke down. The union representing ski patrollers says they're trying to fix a broken wage structure. The impact is being felt beyond the slopes as the Telluride Tourism Board says short-term lodging bookings are down. One transportation company tells 9 News projected sales for the next 2 weeks are down 43%, with cancellations making it unclear how quickly businesses will recover, even if the resort reopens soon.
It's challenging for us to be able to determine what our projected sales will be on a weekly, daily basis, essentially. But in the last week, we've seen our sales drop by 22%.
Telluride put out a statement this week saying it's actively working to reopen lifts 1 and 4 as soon as possible, even forming a recruitment team to hire experienced personnel to temporarily fill the gaps so the resort can reopen. Due to a new law beginning this month, the minimum wage in Colorado has gone up.
Yeah, so in the city of Edgewater, tipped workers must earn at least $18.17. The move comes after Edgewater City Council approved an increase to the city's tip credit, and that's an adjustment that allows employers to count a larger portion of employee tips toward meeting the city's overall minimum wage. One restaurant owner that we spoke with says if the increase was not improved, it would have impacted customer experience.
We were going to have to change the entire way we do business and go to a service included model, which you're seeing all over. I'm sure you see it all the time now, where instead of you deciding what you want to tip, there's a 20% or 22% service included.
That restaurant owner says on average, customers tip 23%. She says all tips are shared and will still shake out to be $26 an hour per person on the low end.
Colorado is ringing in the new year with a new law cracking down on so-called junk fees. It could be especially impactful for renters. The Democrat-backed bill requires businesses to advertise the final cost of their goods or services rather than tacking on a bunch of hidden fees before purchase. The law also prohibits landlords from advertising a low base rent and then surprising renters with mandatory costs for things like maintenance and trash collection. Businesses who violate the law could be on the hook for refunds with interest.